Alright folks, it's time to check in again on the PlayStation Store and the AI slot problem that's been plaguing PSN and the eShop and various other online storefronts. And PSN, it's interesting, right? Because Sony will make these like small incremental changes server side. You don't have to update your PS5. They don't announce these things on the PS blog or social media channels. You just start surfing and hey, there's a new row, there's a new tile. They always move this stuff around. But I think for the past month or two, I want to say, we've had browse by genre and browse by mood on here, which these do play, I think, actually a very important role that we'll talk about in a second. But first up, we'll go to all games. It's default sorted by best selling, so that's typical. And of course, you will see some of the new releases, the pre-order stuff as well. So this is always going to be some fairly high profile, well-known things in the PlayStation and gaming landscape. But it's always, trying to just browse the store, find some new content, things that we haven't seen or heard about just yet, right? So you go to release date, new to old. What is like the new stuff that's coming out on the PlayStation Store? And big shocker, it is still these like in mass simulator games that are using AI generated images, which can be incredibly misleading. Now, it's not to say you can't make something that looks hyper realistic and that looks quite different from the base game. I mean, artistically, some games will have marketing material that isn't directly related to what the in-game content looks like. That historically has been the case for, 40, 50 something years in the game's business, obviously. Should go without saying, but it will trickle down to the materials that is in the store listing for the game, and then you start to realize like it might not really look all that compelling or good. Oddly enough, this police border contraband patrol simulator game doesn't even necessarily look that bad to me. I don't know, maybe the bar is so low here. I feel like this is the kind of thing where you see show up on Steam all the time, but there's always like a novelty and fun to playing some of these, sort of janky simulator games. But again, it really depends on how transparent they're being with the content itself. And there's always that argument to be made of, should this stuff be allowed on PSN? Should Sony just be straight up saying no to these games when they're submitted to the store? It's, there's definitely a gray area, especially because what we've heard is that once a developer is approved and they're sort of into the program of, being able to release PlayStation games through the dev portal, at that point it becomes a fairly automated process. And that's how all this stuff can just keep coming out from these companies, these shell companies or individual developers that there's just no accountability. They have no websites, they have no social media presence, there's no way for you to go and look at them and be like, hey, I bought this game, what is going on here? This shit's terrible. So still got stuff on here. It's a dime a dozen going on. So you've got airline empire stewardess, cash wash simulator, Content King streamer simulator. Lovely. I mean, we've got stars or a rating system, so there's always that. But gosh, you have to wonder what's the okay. So like what, like what is this screenshot? What is this hyper realistic AI generated screenshot, and how does that relate to like this screenshot here? You know what I mean? Like it's just ugh. Yeah, you still got a lot of this stuff going on. It's not gone. It's still here. Laundry Boss Simulator. My goodness. Okay, so it's like there's quite a difference in this screen here. And granted, all the screenshots are at least consistent with one another, which means they're all probably a part of this application. And I'm not willing to pay for this and launch it and see what's going on here because, of course, I don't want to give them my money. But it looks quite a bit different from the sort of header image that you're being led to believe. The Kebab House Cooking Simulator. Okay, well that looks... Yeah, it's like, okay. Here's where it might be looking a little bit more truthful, right? The kebabs, and look at all these images in the back. Are you kidding me? Oh, boy. Yeah, still, like, it's just, I don't know. There's got to be a better process to make sure that this stuff doesn't slip through. At a certain point, there are a handful of things that for PlayStation's marketplace, their store, it's a matter of going, you know what? I think we need to kick you out of the program here and block your access to the dev portal. But at least there is some transparency on the screenshots. Sometimes, not always. and the rating system as well, which will at least telegraph that to other customers of, hey, you probably shouldn't be buying this game. But here's the part that I actually really enjoy about some of these minor changes that Sony does make to the store, right? So it's these tiles right here, browse by genre, browse by mood. I think these actually have been great so far. I've been surfing through them occasionally here and there. I mean, genre is fairly self-explanatory, but like a big problem I find that the store has had, especially with the sheer saturation of games nowadays, because so many things come out on all storefronts, and that extends to the PS Store as well. It's hard to like genuinely find something new. I mean, discovery is kind of a big deal for both parties involved here. Not Sony, but the studio that wants to get some visibility on a storefront like the PS Store, and also the customer that wants to just like see something new, different, abstract. And once you get into relax and unwind, for example, you've got chill and cozy. And these I do find to be definitely curated to where you're gonna get the slop kind of pushed out of here, right? So there is what appears to be genuine curation going on. Now, you've still got some like really well-known stuff in here. Your Far Cry 5, Deathloop, Tomb Raider, Subnautica, slow-paced and soothing, some more recent releases. But then you see something like Sky, Children of the Light, Eagle Flight, and you've got, PlayStation Plus in there as well. So some of these games might be able to be downloaded right then and there. Feather, Season's kind of well known, I find, but all relaxing games will be categorized all in one thing there. Go to like embrace the chaos. It's like, what in the world does that even mean? But you know what? You go to Total Mayhem, and sure, you got Cult of the Lamb, Dead Cells, but then you get the Long Dark Wood. I mean, at the very minimum, it's just I guess what I enjoy here is that there's some what appears to be actual curation going on, and it helps with that sort of discovery problem that I was talking about. So in a way, it's like, has the AI problem been completely stomped out? Well, no, because if you want to find it, you can. 100%. Those games are not gone. They're not gone, and they're still coming out on a fairly consistent basis on the PlayStation Store. But if you want to avoid them, it's not hard to do. It's a few button presses away. It's just now there's the option to go ahead and look away from them, which I enjoy. Now, granted, there's still a sort option here, which is sort by best selling. So, but go to release of new old, like, oh, what's a more recent game that came out? Well, you've still got the AI stuff pushed out of this category, right? So you just like learn like, oh, okay, so like 9 Lives to Defend came out recently, a fairly cheap, inexpensive game. This isn't quite the category that we just looked at from when you go completely unfiltered. Just straight up show me all the new stuff on the store, and that's when you see the plethora of simulation games. Void Crew, Dead Zone Rogue. It's different. Now, the other problem that's been cropping up, and I guess it's a problem because PlayStation doesn't really offer this anymore, but it's avatars, premium avatars on PSN, because that was the thing during the PS3 days, which is you could go to the store and buy a 49-cent avatar a la carte. And that's not really a thing anymore. Sony has heavily deprioritized legacy avatars on PlayStation 5, PS4, and PS5. So, for example, what people are doing now, what developers are doing, is basically making a shell of a game to then offer avatars on PSN through PlayStation 5. So I have to search avatars here, and because that's the thing, you can't like buy a game that has avatars, but you can buy a base game, and then add-on content from that point on is allowed. The way that PlayStation's policy is, the add-on content can bundle in premium avatars. So under add-ons, you can see Peace Out Dance Avatar Bundle. And like the base game itself is cheap. It's $2. That might be the cheapest they can realistically offer the game. And it's just like a sort of whatever puzzle game. It has to be something at the end of the day. But there's that. And then official news is avatars, new avatars. And then here's all this add-on content, which are actually avatar bundles. And it's from this point on, you can this is the easy way to access new, different, unique avatars on PSN. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy to me. I didn't, honestly, I had no idea this was going on for as long as it was. I don't know if this is like a relatively new thing, but it is something where like that's how a studio has sort of gone about in a roundabout way is able to capitalize on the lack of premium avatars on PlayStation 5 is making shell-based games and then add-on content, which includes various avatar bundles. And that is funny to me. Is this one of them? Dodge these balls? It's 49 cents, pretty cheap. No, it's just a game. I mean, there's a lot of this stuff. I mean, look at this. It's Circle of Nature. Boy, oh boy. What a world we live in. Oh boy. The PlayStation Store is not perfect, and this is a great example of that. And of course, you still have these jumping games, which have been... They're always on the back end. They're there. They're not gone. But boy, oh boy. Yeah, the PS Store, it's getting better, but it's also not. There's still the argument to be made of should Sony be rejecting these things? Maybe. But also it's like deprioritize them, give them less visibility, penalize them. And if they are genuinely being misleading, then yes, ban their developer accounts and consistently do that to the point where, this stuff stops showing up. But the good thing is that at least we've got new filters. I always like to make the argument of the second you sort of make an automated process where you start rejecting some of these games, you're going to, in some way, shape, or form, end up rejecting genuine work from a studio that, just for whatever reason got caught through the filter. And that's going to be a problem when they start making a big deal about it. Then headlines go up and then it looks bad for Sony on the PR end. So that's the weird push and pull there. But otherwise, PS Store is still looking... about how it normally does. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation, and I will see you all in my next video. You take it easy.